You can be religious with a party lifestyle.
Yes, you can.
Just look at me.
You can. You can.
Give me some flashing lights. Hello and welcome back to the CROAK and CROW podcast, the CROAK and CROW show, the CROAK and CROW get together. Just welcome back. We're back here, ready to talk to you, ready to learn y'all a thing or two. I am Spencer Cartier.
And I am Verona.
And we are here and ready to go. It is the
18th
day of Christmas. Sound the music. Give me some lights. Snow falling down. What else can I make future me mad at? I want Santa Claus right here.
Passing by.
Not passing by.
Oh.
I don't want to push myself too hard.
Animation.
Yeah. So,
Advent present. We got
I get a present every day.
not just you. Do you eat marshmallows?
Not really.
Well, we're being sponsored by Dandies.
Dandies.
It's a marshmallow.
Is it like flavored? Is it just a marshmallow?
It's just a marshmallow, but the reason it's so great is because it's vegan and gluten free. And marshmallows, for those who don't know, are made with gelatin. Gelatin is made with beef bones, so it's very hard to open.
I just don't want to be too loud.
I know, it's so crinkly. So it's a vegan marshmallow, which means it's made with like I don't know, a vegetable cellulose instead of.
All right, I'm gonna throw one up. If I catch it in my mouth, this is gonna be a great podcast.
Yeah.
If I miss it, it's gonna be a terrible podcast.
Man. Oh, what does that mean? Half in.
Here on CROAK and CROW, we get to do everything twice.
That's right. Okay, I'll try.
Whatever. This is gonna be a stupid podcast.
No, don't say that. So these are Dandies. Check them out. They're probably on Instagram.
Cool. Anything else you want to add before we get into a topic?
The snow stopped.
Kind of weird.
Are they?
No, it's like they're good. They're sweeter than regular marshmallow, but they kind of have like a grainy consistency to it.
They do. I'm not going to remember what regular marshmallows taste like, so I wouldn't be a good judge.
Like I think they just use a little more sugar.
Okay. Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but they're but they pass. I mean, they're not crazy.
No. For being vegan and gluten free, I approve.
Yeah. And they look like snow falling. The snow has stopped. We weren't snowed in. It wasn't a replay of Philadelphia 1996.
Philadelphia 1996, never forget.
It was just Philadelphia 2020, which was, we had to shovel, but it wasn't crazy.
I was out there all morning, shoveling, getting a workout, and I kind of liked it. Mm-hmm. You know, my brother, he wasn't happy. He was like, I got to shovel. I'm like, my gyms are closed. Anything that can resemble something of a workout, sign me up.
Yeah. People die of heart attacks from shoveling. So I'm not saying that you would have, but I'm saying it proves that it's a strenuous workout.
It's good for your back and for your mind.
And for your
cardiovascular system.
And for your walking.
Okay. Let's get into it.
All
Let's
right.
get into a topic. I'm hoping it's a Friday podcast. That's usually when we have the best topics. You guys know this. I know it.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
Let's not procrastinate. Let's just.
You have a topic?
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime you start giving a little spiel like that, I'm always thinking.
I'm giving clues.
Oh, procrastination?
Yeah.
Procrastination.
Procrastination is my life.
Yep.
Okay? It's my life. You talk about what you know. Procrastination of mine, of yours. Did it happen in the Bible? Doesn't have to be a Bible. I realize lately we've been pushing hard on the Christians. But there's other religions,
spiritual
and
books,
spiritual beliefs.
or just spiritual journeys.
It's just, ways of life.
Ways of living.
Good ways of life with a higher power.
Yeah.
So, can you be a nice, good person and you procrastinate?
No.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Procrastinators.
So here we are.
Procrastinators go to hell.
Procrastinators.
I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding in the sense that procrastination. Procrastination is a real thing. We all do it. We all know why we do it. It's easy to do.
Everybody does it.
I can sit here and preach to you of the damage that procrastination does. And then I'm going to go and not edit this podcast tonight because I'm like, why do something tonight when you have to do it tomorrow?
Right.
But let me tell you guys, I can't really talk about why not to procrastinate. No, wait. I can't really tell you guys to not procrastinate. But I'll tell you what. If you do just push yourself, as good as it feels to procrastinate, it feels better overcoming something.
Absolutely. But I think people know that.
Yeah. It's tough because you do know that. And that's why I don't really know. I don't know what to tell people about procrastination. I guess I can tell some things that's like, so with the Bible, I know I'm always coming back to reading the Bible.
That's all right.
But that's all I have going for me right now. Okay, guys?
Don't say that. Even when you have the whole world at your feet, that will still be something.
My biggest achievement.
Yeah.
I can be president of the United States. It doesn't even compare. No, but one of the biggest reasons why I read the Bible, I think I say this a lot, was because it was always a procrastination thing. Like, in my mind, I always knew, like, yeah, eventually I'll read, especially before I die. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to read the Bible. And then I'm like, what if I die tomorrow?
It's funny. You should say that. There's a Pablo Picasso quote. Maybe you know it because you are an art student.
I'm a student of the arts.
And he supposedly said, I didn't hear him say it, but I read that he said, only procrastinate on the things that you're willing to die having left undone.
Yeah. I think that's really smart. And so with the Bible, it was a obstacle, very easy to procrastinate, especially because procrastination usually comes with a deadline.
Yeah.
And when the deadline's death, you tend to feel like you got a while. And then I'm like, all right, let me just do, like, I have energy. I have the ability to do things. I'm 22 at the time. I'm like, I could be done. It could take me a year. Like any book taking you a year is a long time. I'm like, then I'm done. I did it. And not in the sense of like, just get it over with,
right.
but in the sense of just get it over with.
Yeah.
Like, do it now and then you can go back to it.
Right.
You can have all these plans. And so I did that. And then guess what? 23, I read cover to cover and I am so like now, once retrospect is 2020, you're like, a lot of the times it's the opposite where it's like, oh, if only I started then. So when you do things and it's like, I did start that and now I'm done.
Right.
Now, and it's like, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
So you were happy with the book after you read it. Would you have been as happy if you hadn't been happy with the book?
I would have been probably more happy.
Okay, really?
Not in the sense that I would be stoked that the Bible wasn't all I imagined it to be, but let's say it wasn't. Just imagine living a life in a group or a religion your entire life to read it when you're 60 to say, I don't agree with any of these values.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, if only I realized this sooner.
No, that's true.
So luckily, I read it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, so you shouldn't procrastinate. I just don't know what to do because, I actually have a way about me that, and I know a lot of people do. The deadline is what drives me. The last minute is when the sparks start.
Yeah.
That's when, I don't know why, but
yeah,
my brain, I think it's more my brain than my spirit.
Yeah. Well, it's in the words of John Rohn, one of my favorite motivational speakers, rest in paradise. He says, either you run the day or the day will run you.
Right.
And I think it's the same concept. Like, you have the ability. Mm-hmm. You have the ability. You have it inside.
You haven't been the preacher recently.
It's coming out today. You have it inside of you. Mm-hmm. Okay? And you know that. It's not like the deadline comes up and you're like, I just can't do it. You're like, okay, game face. But what's happening is you're letting the day come to you. You're letting, like literally when push comes to shove, you're waiting for the push to then shove.
Yeah.
It's hard because personal motivation's hard.
It is.
Why does the average person not able to do 10 push-ups, but army men are able to do 50 in 5 minutes? Because they have someone on top of them, pushing them, yelling, "Do it, do it, do it!" And it's a whole lot easier when you got a 6'4", 250-pound drill sergeant yelling at you.
Yeah.
And that 6'4", 250-pound drill sergeant is your deadline.
Right.
Does that mean you can't do 50 push-ups in 10 minutes? No, but then it comes to personal motivation, which is so much harder.
It is.
But it's also so much more important.
It's just weird, though. Like, I think I said to you the other day when we did the patience podcast, I said, our default, what we're born with is impatience. I'm going to say because everybody's impatient and you have to work on being patient. It's not natural. And I feel it's the same thing with procrastination, because you mentioned a motivational speaker. Where would their industry be, if people didn't procrastinate and people knew how to motivate themselves? Like, our default is later, and even in the Bible, that's what I know. There's a lot of, they're very, very hard on I think a lot of the Proverbs are like all talking about so you can reap and all this, and don't procrastinate. And so you're really judged for it, but it's your natural state.
Yeah. And I don't think you should be judged. It's like, it is human, but how I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, I had gotten the thought and then I lost it as you were all talking. So it's not something that I lost then, but it's not bad. It is not great to procrastinate, but it's a natural thing. But I don't know if it's exact same as patience, because like I said, patience comes down to selflessness. Where I think selfishness.
Selfishness.
So, there it is. Where I think you are born selfish. It's actually it's a biological thing to protect yourself is to be selfish, and we need to grow to be more than just our instinct, our biology. Whereas I think procrastination is short-sightedness. So it's not a selfish. It's where the one you're worried about yourself. This is you're worried about your short-term self.
Yeah.
Do what's easier. Do what's more comfortable.
Right.
It's very hard to be long-sighted, and it's a battle and a skill to learn.
Yeah.
Because how can you convince yourself to wake up early and go for a run if you're not thinking about how your body's going to feel a month from now?
Right.
How are you going to make your body feel worse now?
Right.
To feel better later?
Right.
How are you going to waste your time now?
Yeah.
Without being able to think of the rewards later?
Right.
And so you need to have this long-term sightedness, this ability to look long-term.
Yeah, right. Short-sightedness, yeah.
To really do that. And like I said, I mean, I don't have it down. I don't have it down at all, but I think you should be striving to it.
I know. And I picked it because, like I said, it's a personal challenge.
Picked it because you were procrastinating picking a topic.
Always. Always. It's always been, and I'm guessing it always will be. I'm a huge procrastinator, but I know I'm not alone, and I know that you could see a million quotes about it. Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow.
Well, maybe you should stop by saying I'm a huge procrastinator and say I'm not a procrastinator, but I procrastinate a lot. That came out wrong. But maybe it's
I know what you're saying.
When you label yourself as something, you become that.
Yeah, right. And then there's no hope. But it's like, I've been procrastinating. What do you think you should procrastinate about God? I know that I also did that. I was brought up religious, and I wasn't against it, but I thought I'll do it later.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that most people procrastinate about. It's like what I said about the Bible, but especially for young people.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you go to a church and it's all old people. It's because they ran out of time to procrastinate and go into church. That's not the only reason, but
procrastination is a thief of time.
yeah. And so young people, so many of them, they're like living their young lives. And if you bring religion up to them, they know they're religious, and it's just like, I don't want to talk about that because they don't have, it's not a precious matter, but it should be. And the younger you get into it, the better.
Yeah.
And
well, it's also, I think,
I'm gonna get a tissue because my allergies are acting up.
I think, should I keep talking? Okay. Sure. I think procrastination, when it has to do with religion, is fear of the unknown, because you think if I go into a spiritual life right now, if I consider that my actions have consequences and I have to think about death, because we already talked about thinking about religion is thinking about death. It's a fear. So it's like, let's pretend that's not happening. And so it's what you talked about, a self-preservation is being selfish, and a self-preservation could also be not wanting to uncover, again, ignorance is bliss, not wanting to uncover information or like that might be scary to you, or you might be thinking it'll take away your comfortable, happy, joyful, laughing, wild, partying life.
Yeah. Imagine being at a party, everyone's laughing and cheering.
Right.
And you shut the music off and say, guys, what happens to us after we die?
Right.
And it's like, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's why it's good to be spiritual early in life and constantly, because you will see that there aren't fences around. There's not handcuffs, and, there's so much fun to be had spiritually. Okay, even saying that is weird. There's so much to be fun having spiritually. I don't mean that. I mean, there's so much fun to be had in your life, your creation, your existence, and it's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? People think if you become spiritual, you have to put on a priest collar, and you can't be seen at an R-rated movie, and that's a deterrent, actually.
Oh, I'll become religious once my party lifestyle dies down. It's like, you can be religious with a party lifestyle.
Yes, you can.
Just look at me.
You can. You can.
Give me some flashing lights.
Yeah. So, I know procrastination is across all industries. I'm sure architects procrastinate making that. Well, that would still be creative. What I was going to say was, I see a lot of artists, musicians, same difference. People call musicians artists. I feel like that creative block that they have is a type of procrastination where they keep stepping away from it because it's like, it's just something about creating it that you're just not ready to do. It's not going to work right now. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
And then when the panic, anxiety, whatever it is, rises, and then that pressures you, and then you do something, and then, you could do something great. But why it has to rise, I don't know.
Yeah. So how do we not procrastinate?
How do we not procrastinate? I don't know, because it's a comforting activity.
I'll tell you how.
Okay, good.
This is how you stop procrastinating. First of all, you look in the mirror and you look at yourself and say, you don't control me. This is what I think, guys. And take my word because it's fact. Your mind and your body are at constant battle with each other.
No, that's true.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And your body tricks your mind to thinking it wants things that or thinking that it's the mind that wants something. When you wake up and you say, oh, I'm not going to get out of bed. That's your body. That's your body telling your mind. Yeah. Hey, pal.
It's what we want. Yeah.
Hey, pal, it's what we want. So you know this whole mind-body connection? No, throw it in the trash. Your mind and your body are not friends. Okay. Your mind loves your body like a son.
Yeah.
Not like a friend, like a son or a daughter. Okay? And that son or daughter is going to ask a little too much. So it's important to know that. And so when you wake up in the morning and your body's like, 5 more minutes, your mind needs to say, I don't think so. Mm-mm. Jump out of bed. And your body at first is going to be like,
yeah, you're right.
Come on. Like, no, like, you don't want this. And it's like, nope. And then, whatever you want to get into, like, when that's what I do. When I go on a run, my body's like, okay, I'm tired. I'm going to stop now. And then I think, who's stronger, my mind or my body?
Your mind.
My mind. And so when my body says, okay, I am done, my mind's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's the same thing in all capacities. Like it needs to be this sheer will of I'm doing it. And that's still hard. And I know I didn't offer anything except to say have your mind and body hate each other, which isn't really what I meant.
Well, no, but it's the realization that it's not a lot of teamwork is happening there.
Yeah.
Just the realization to begin with is good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You have to understand that the easy way is going to be what's most comfortable. So why I like making this separation is because it's easier than saying I don't want to get out of bed to then be able to have that conscious separation and say my body doesn't want to get out of bed.
Right.
My body doesn't want to go on a run.
Right.
And it's like, am I going to let my fleshly body tell me what to do, or am I going to let my spiritual mind tell me what to do? Another thing is to write down a organized list of what you're going to do during that day and stick to it. This is something I only started doing like last year or 2 years ago, but it works for me because for two reasons. One, it's good to have it's sort of holds you accountable for the things that you need to do throughout the day. And if you miss it, it's not like an internal, like you just write it off. You know you missed something on your list.
Right.
And it doesn't, don't be too hard on yourself, but you just know I did not do everything I could today.
Mm-hmm.
The other reason is because this happened so much to me when I first started on my road to the top, to being the shining star that I am today. I had so much to do, and
after the podcast, he climbs up and he sits at the top of the tree.
And then I go to sleep until the next podcast.
He's our shining star.
I knew there was a lot of things that I wanted to do to improve my life, but each one was so long. Like,
yeah,
in small scale. I'm not saying I wanted to start a $1 million company, like clean my room. That was a day job, And so I would spend a day cleaning my room, and the other things would get stacked up. So the way I write lists is I literally write time blocks, and I even put time blocks of like goofing off, 12 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do that, you are able to account for actual hours, and you're going to run out of space. You only have so much a day, and that way you don't overexert yourself.
Right. You
don't feel like, oh, I'm procrastinating. Like, you're like, oh, I only had 30 minutes to fit in for that paper today, and then the next, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a good way to see your day before it even starts and not do too much and not do too little. Write lists.
Yeah, and also if you write a list,
and check it twice.
That's right. If you write a list, you will also probably learn that you're not really great at estimating times.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, I'll have like 20 minutes for the dishes, or I'll have, anything, this much time to go get the coffee, or this much. And then you would see, I didn't know that I was spending 50 minutes getting coffee, or,
and then you can plan ahead for that. That's like time management is a lot to do with procrastination.
Yeah.
It's like you think you have more time than you do until you realize you don't. And it's like,
right.
When you're able to see that on paper and not just be in my head, like, nah, I don't got to worry about it now.
Yeah.
Then you're good.
Right. And all of these things, if you're very young and you're watching us, try anything you want. I'm just saying, like, these are suggestions because we have tried the other things that people have said.
Like what?
I don't know. Just like, we know that procrastination keeps happening no matter what, and that you have to take, like, you have to not trust yourself, basically.
And that's sort of what I was trying to get to with this whole mind body thing, is you can't trust yourself. Like, your like primary setting is to go the easier route.
Absolutely. When I can't tell you how many people I've heard say, well, I'm going to start the diet on Monday.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a trick that your mind is playing on you, because Sunday is no different than Saturday afternoon.
Exactly. And why people talk so much about discipline and habit is the importance of it. It's because, like when a guy, Navy SEALs, like, it's all about discipline and habit. What that is basically saying is all true. It's that it's never it's not easy for anyone to go to the gym. If there's a smooth trail right here and then a rocky mountain, that rocky mountain is never going to be easy.
Yeah.
You just need to go up it enough that you get to the trail in the morning and you forget there's even a easy trail next to you, because it's just, what are you talking about? I've gone up this trail for the past 2 months, and I
have been so surprised in my life when I found out that Olympic athletes would say it's very, very hard for me to wake up in the morning. I remember there was a swimmer, and she was like, I wake up and it's cold out and I don't want to get out of my bed and I don't want to drive all the way to the facility for the pool. And just, that's one story, but so many of these athletes that I would think my own self, I don't feel like getting up to do whatever, I don't feel like getting up and turning off the outdoor lights, because it's morning, it's wasting electricity. It's like, it's cold out, I'll do it later. I thought it was a me thing. And it's like these athletes who, it's their whole entire life. And same thing with actors. When I would hear I thought they just went on stage like, oh, here I go, and you hear these musicians again, actors, and they say, no, I have to psych myself up, tell myself, get out there onto the stage or practice in my craft or whatever. So it's a constant.
Mm-hmm. There's a woman, I don't remember her name, but she also talks about this, and she wrote a whole book on the 5-second rule, and it's to help procrastination. And so when your mind tells you I need to get up, or I need to turn off the light, immediately after you do that, you just make it a habit to just start counting down from 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
And as soon as you get to 0, you have to get up and do it. And it turns it into just sort of a countdown rather than, I'll get up in a bit. It's 5, 4, and you're up.
This is what I'm thinking. Force yourself up. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, and myself included, it's I'm not taking my freedom away. When you just told your little story, I said, oh, that's what you do with children, by the count, you better be over here by the count of 3. And I thought, I'm not a child, or I don't have to do it, or I'm an adult now. Maybe my mom used to make me do the dishes after dinner, but I'm not going to do it. So my mind would trick me into feeling that that's the freedom.
Yeah.
And in reality, I'm stealing the freedom from myself by being I thought I was being prisoner to the task, but now I'm just being prisoner to not doing the task, or
yeah. I mean, I said it about waking up a lot. I have this whole thing about waking up early, which comes down to the fact that because it's that sort of freedom to sleep in. I'll wake up when my body wants to wake up.
Yeah.
And then you get a job or whatever, and and then that's earlier than your body wants to wake up, and you're waking up for that job. And it's I would much rather wake up because I tell myself I'm waking up at this time, not because anyone else is telling me, because I'm telling me. And you feel better than, this freedom to only wake up when someone else wakes you up, or you need to be awake for something.
Right.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna wake up because I'm in charge of me. I'm not gonna let no boss be in charge of me.
And the thing with procrastination is that you're going to have to pay the piper at some point. So to think you're not, you're lying to yourself. So if you think, I don't have to put the trash cans out on the curb by a certain time on Monday morning for the trash. Okay. I don't have to do it. Okay. You do have to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to miss the trash truck. Now I could say, well, I'm not. And I did miss the trash truck. Okay. Now you have cans full of trash that you can't use. So you're paying the price.
Yeah, I also think about future selves, and how you when you procrastinate, it's like you're screwing over your future self.
Yeah.
Like future Spencer. I must hate future Spencer. Snow falling down. What else can I make future me mad at? Because I leave everything for him to do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then, likewise, you could love your past self if you do the things. Like,
right.
I can do that paper tomorrow. You know, what day is it? It's December, what, 18th? You could, I could say, oh, I have a paper due on January 1st. But you know what? I hate December 27th, Spencer. I'm going to let him do it.
Yeah.
Where likewise, if I do it every day a little bit, December 27th, Spencer is going to be like, wow, past Spencer, he was pretty cool.
Right.
Have your future and past selves like you.
I don't want to steal anyone's phrases or anything, but yesterday I was watching somebody on YouTube, sort of like a motivational person, and they said that ready is a lie.
Ready is a lie.
And
the devil is
that
a lie.
is so... I need to know that because...
Get it tattooed on your neck.
I won't be able to see my neck. I'd have to be tattooed on my hand or something. Ready is a lie. Because also a lot of the procrastination is I'm not ready to do it. Yeah. I don't have the tools. I don't have the product. I don't have the place to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
But so my suggestion to myself, I'm just talking to myself here, and you can
nobody else listen. Oh.
No, they can listen and they can do it too. Is to try. I heard to try is already saying that you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do it. Just do things that you absolutely know you're not ready to do.
Yeah.
You know you're not ready to do it.
Yeah, that's what I
just
feel like
do
you
it.
hear that so many times is
yeah.
Guess what? You want to learn how to swim? Just jump in the deep end.
What?
Oh, there's a lifeguard on duty.
Yeah, that sounded a little reckless, but
that's how they treat kids. Like there's someone there in the pool.
Okay, so there's someone there in the pool. I don't want people just running out the door and jumping in Lake Michigan because Spencer told them to.
Hey, Mom, I just watched CROAK and CROW. I gotta go. You hear a splash in the neighbor's pool.
Yeah.
No, don't jump in pools if there's not proper supervision and you're not a strong swimmer. But it's
buddy
just,
system in a pool always.
It's just one of those things. Like the only way to know is to do it.
Yes,
and you'll never be ready. Guess what? You'll
never ever be ready.
Never be ready.
And you will watch other people do things that you wanted to do or should have done, and they're not going to even do them that great. But half done is better than not done.
Amen to that, sister.
So sitting there and thinking, I'm not ready to write my paper, just sit down and just start tapping on the keyboard. Mm-hmm. Don't even write sentences or words that are legible.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Get yourself to the computer.
That's what I like about the schedule thing. So like, the way it would work is, I would schedule out. So I would be trying to do things like if I have a paper, we do go back to papers a lot because I feel like that's like the most generic.
Yeah, it's just like in my memory.
But instead of the night before writing a whole paper, 2 weeks out in your schedule you wrote for yourself is just 30 minutes of the paper. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it goes in, but you just sit there on the computer and then you probably just jot down. And then once you get started, you all know how it goes. You end up probably writing a lot more than even the time you allotted yourself. Because it's like,
right.
The biggest battle is to get up. And that's what I always say. You know what I always say, guys? Do you know what I always say?
I don't know.
I talk about going to the gym a lot, but I'm procrastinating the gym. But I tell people this. I say, I don't have like personal motivation and discipline to work out every day. I don't. That's too hard. Where my discipline and motivation ends is getting dressed, getting out of bed, getting dressed, and driving to the gym. Mm-hmm. That's where it ends. Once I'm there, and I end up always working out.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah, that's funny.
It's the hardest part. They say the hardest part about going to the gym every day is walking through the doors.
No, it's true. I heard a girl say once. She said that, and this was somebody like, I don't know if she was an athlete or she wasn't someone I personally knew. It was on the internet, and she said that she would trick herself, and she would say, "You don't have to work out. Mm-hmm. Let's the goal of the day is to drive to the gym and drive back. We can get coffee. She's talking to herself.
Yeah.
But the goal of the day is to put on your workout outfit, get in the car and drive to the gym. But you absolutely do not have to go into the gym. She said she never once drove away without going into the gym.
And that's the truth, honestly. The hardest part of anything.
Yeah.
The hardest part of writing a paper is opening your laptop and opening the Word document. Mm-hmm. Hardest part of washing the dishes is turning the sink on and putting it on and getting the soap.
Right.
Hardest part of making your bed is, I don't know, folding the blanket.
Getting out of it.
Yeah, literally.
If you try to make it when you're in it, it's lumpy and, you can't reach all the corners unless you have a very, very small bed.
Yeah.
I'm not a yoga person whatsoever, but during the quarantine, I really was locked in physically and mentally. And I reached out to a friend who teaches yoga through Yoga for All Musicians. And you don't have to be a musician, but they are. And I was working with Amanda, and she does a type of yoga. I think it's called Lento. I think it's called Lento because she's a musician, but it might be called Yin. It's the slow one. It's the it's not anything fast or strenuous or splits or upside downs or anything like that. But in this yoga, it's about feeling discomfort, which sounds terrible, right?
Yeah. Sounds
terrible, but it's not a lot of discomfort. It's holding positions. So it could just be a position of laying on your side. Like, I'm not even, that's what I'm saying. It's the class that she taught. And don't be in pain, obviously. If something's pulling or poking or ripping or tearing or, sharp, absolutely don't do that. But if it's just like, why do I have to hold this position?
Yeah.
You hold it for like 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It sounds crazy, but it's literally, it's nothing like, it's just holding a position. Because it takes that long for the body to release the tension and like your fascia, which is like the tight netting system that holds all your muscles and everything.
Yeah.
It takes that long for it to say, oh, we're staying in this position.
Yeah.
And to let go. And it's very helpful. Like I said, especially for musicians who are in different positions. But I'm with you. When I heard it's supposed to not feel good, and she'll say to you like, try to ask yourself what's upsetting you about the discomfort. And that's the thing. It's not pain. It's not.
Yeah.
And also it's going to be over. Like, that sounds long, 3 minutes, but not really. It's very, very short. But what I was going to say about all of that brought me to this, which is, maybe it will be terrible to take a shower at 5 a.m. when it's freezing cold out and you can't get the hot water. Mm-hmm. It's okay to sometimes feel uncomfortable.
Yes. That I could not have said it better myself. So many people would ask me back in the hizzy, when I was waking up at 5 o'clock every morning in the winter and going on a run, stretching, and taking my cold shower. And they'd say, why do you do that? Like, whatever. Let me just get to the point. I would say, like, I bet you're used to it now. And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's
right.
Every day it sucks.
Right.
I will never say what I am doing is fun, is enjoyable. And I'm like, but that's okay. It's okay that it sucks,
right?
Because it holds a purpose,
right?
And and the thing is, I made the conscious decision. I wasn't forced to do any of this. I'm like, I know I feel better during the day when I do this,
right?
If it's a paper, then I think that's a lot of what it is.
It's pain now or pain later.
Exactly.
So, like,
and it's benefit or versus rewards.
Yeah.
What's 30 minutes a night of you could be doing that? You can be scrolling on Instagram instead of writing a paper.
Right.
But then to be done it, the
right.
reward's much bigger. When I was waking up every day, I was having the best days ever.
Right.
And it took 2 hours of discomfort, but 2 hours of discomfort for 14 hours of
right.
the best days ever. Give me that all day of the week.
And you're discounting you're discounting not just that the thing didn't get done, but then you have that regret, or you have that, you feel bad about yourself.
Come on. Every time you procrastinate something, when the due date does come, you start doing the math backwards. And you're like, if I had only done 30 minutes every day, this would have been so easy. You know, if you procrastinated on going to the gym, you know, a year goes by, it's like, if I just got my behind to show up every day, I'd be in a much better place.
Before we end, we haven't talked really much about the Bible, but
we talked a little bit in the beginning, but you're right. A little bit.
So just the finishing up part,
or spirituality or religion.
Spirituality, religion, anything. But what's coming to my mind quickly, you know, before we go, is when the person, you tell it, when the person asks Jesus, I want to go with you, but I'm going to do some things first.
So Jesus was, you know, gathering up the people, and then this guy comes up to Jesus and he's like, I want to follow you. I'm here. I'm ready to follow you. But one thing, my family member just died. I think it was his father. Mm-hmm. And his burial is tomorrow. And I know you guys will be long gone by then. So I just need to do that, and then I'll come with you. And Jesus' response was, let the dead bury the dead, for I am here now, or something now.
Something like that.
But, yeah.
So it seems to me like such a point on the procrastination scale, because you might say, okay, you just didn't feel like getting out of bed, but mine's real. Like, I need to get good sneakers before I start going on my pet, you know, but really there's no excuse for anything, for you not to do it, to do to do it somehow, some way, some part, because the people do that. They rate their excuses of like, you know, oh, you just didn't have shoes, but I actually just had surgery, you know, like, and your mind will use your mind knows you better than you know you. And it will use what you'll be like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then your mind will be like, did you forget about? And then you're like, you're right, I can't do it. So takeaway, don't trust yourself.
To end this podcast off, just don't trust yourself. Understand that your body...
Do the opposite of what you think you do.
Yeah, actually that's true. Do the opposite of what you want to do. When you wake up, you're going to say, stay in bed. Do the opposite.
Try it.
When your body's like, I need to breathe, say... Don't hold your breath. I'm just kidding.
Wim Hof, I do always talk about him, and he does hold his breath.
Don't hold your breath unless you're Wim Hof. Wim Hof, if you're watching this, keep holding your breath. Everyone else, breathe a lot. All right, guys. We won't be back tomorrow. It's Friday, as you know. But look out for Sunday for another meme review.
A few laughs, a short video.
A few goofs. We'll be goofing around. We won't have to watch us for 40 minutes, but you'll see my smiling face for about 10. And then we'll be back on Monday. So I will see you guys later. Peace.